Hey everyone, Pastor Mike here with another question from our Question and Answer Sunday. And it's a really important one and a really emotional one. The question says this: what is the church's position on homosexuality? If someone is a homosexual, are they expected to change or be sorry for who they are in order to be accepted by God? This question is just printed on the page in front of me, but as I was thinking about it, I was picturing the faces of gay and lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people I know. I was thinking of the people from our church who definitely feel the weight of same-sex attraction. I was thinking of the Christians who are facing that attraction and the non-Christians who come to our church Sunday after Sunday. I thought about the family members, and I'm thinking about so many of you. Maybe that's your situation. Maybe this is your question, or maybe your son, your daughter, your best friend, your aunt, your uncle is dealing with this. And here's my problem. This is such a personal question. It's such a deeply emotional and spiritual question that to try to answer it in 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 15 minutes, it wouldn't feel right. If I was going to tell you, well, this is wrong and you need to change, you would have so many questions about God and the church and homophobia and bigotry, questions I just don't have time to answer in this video. So it's going to take a little bit of work, but here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Online, you can find a whole sermon series I preached on this topic called Gay and God. I know timeofgrace.org has a printed version of all the words that I spoke. On the Core's website, you could track that down, those 4 sermons that I preached, I believe, back in 2015. Because I want to give you more than a short answer. I want to give you a good answer. So if you would give me not 3 minutes, but 3 hours to unpack all the questions, objections, I hope that would be a blessing to you. But let me speak directly, if I could, to this question. If someone is a homosexual, are they expected to change or be sorry for who they are in order to be accepted by God? I really wish I knew who sent this question, because I would ask them a question. Well, what do you mean by change? Maybe you've heard of the idea of conversion therapy. It's this idea that's become very unpopular, but used to be, where if you just gave someone enough counseling, sometimes even shock treatments, that you could change them, that their attraction to the same sex could be changed to an attraction to the opposite sex. Can that happen? Well, my answer is it could, but it probably won't. I encourage you to buy some of the books by a woman, an amazing author and a Christian named Rosaria Champagne Butterfield. She lived the lesbian lifestyle, and something changed in her, and her story is so unique and it's so wonderful. Check out her book, The Secret Thoughts of an Unlikely Convert. However, if my experience is like homosexual experience, then things in our heart don't change that quickly. What we feel, what we experience, it's not like a light switch when you come to church or when you trust in Jesus. I would say this, though. Does a person have to be sorry for who they are in order to be accepted by God? My unequivocal answer to that question is yes. I do. They do. He does. She does. You do. No one can be proud of who they are by nature and be accepted by God. No one can think that their heart is so pure and so good and so worthy and so deserving that God's just going to love them because they deserve it. That's not at all what Jesus taught. He said that flesh gives birth to flesh. John chapter 3. He said to follow him and to be with him. Mark 8 says you have to lose your life. You have to deny yourself and take up a cross. You have to agree with God and confess your sin and your sinfulness, that there's something in our hearts that's wrong. It might be sexual, it might not, but we can't be 100% proud of who we are and still say we're sinners and at the same time be accepted by God. So this really common modern idea that you should just be true to yourself. But Jesus said that ourselves are not wholly pure. We need to be cleansed, we need to be washed, we need to come to Jesus. Let me leave you with some good news, though. You can. Even if things in your life aren't changing as fast as you want, even if there's sexual temptation you're facing and sometimes even falling into, even if you know you're not worthy of being with a God who is this good, Jesus said that you can follow him. You can confess any sin. You can open up your hands and offer it to him. And I love 1 John chapter 1. If we confess our sins, God is faithful, and he will forgive us and purify us from all unrighteousness. So if you're interested in my thoughts on homosexuality, check out that sermon series, Gay and God, by Rosaria's amazing book. And remember this, you can't hold on to any kind of life and get Jesus. But if you let go of control, Jesus can give you a life that never ends, a happy life in the presence of God. Thanks for listening with an understanding heart, and I'll talk to you soon.